welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we assume everyone who's been murdered was part of a sex cult.
My God.
I mean, these cops. Anyway, my name's Amy Archer. I'm your host. I'm here with the beautiful gravy to my french fry, sauce to my meatball.
Ooh, meatballs. I did make
Steph.
meatballs this weekend. What's up, goldies and holies?
What's up, Steph?
What up, Aim?
A couple things up top. One thing I want to talk about is we are done with our coverage of Yellow Jackets.
Which was
So
amazing.
Thank you. So Amanda and I are moving to White Lotus.
Oh,
Very excited.
yes.
So
Oh my God, it's so good.
We're gonna be picking up, but we're not gonna start that until you and I are done with Love and Death. So
Okay.
we got 3 more weeks of Love and Death, and then
Okay.
White Lotus season 2 picks up. In the meantime, I'll also be starting And Just Like That season 2 with Leslie DJ. I got a lot going on.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm super excited for White Lotus, though. That's such a great show.
I love White Lotus so much. There's like
I do
one
too.
scene in particular that I can't wait to talk about, and that is when Michael Imperioli's character makes fun of the Godfather. Like, I need to talk
I know.
about that
It's
scene.
Amy, it's a great show. I mean, Jennifer Coolidge, it literally is like life-changing. She's so amazing and hilarious. I love her.
Speaking of shows, we do need to talk about The Ultimatum Queer Love, but I just want to say Timmy and I started watching Jury Duty. Have you watched this yet?
I have not. But wait,
Okay.
what is that on? Is that Netflix also?
I found it on Hulu.
Okay, then
And it's like
I'll
on
find
that
it.
free one, that freebie or whatever, but it's
Freebie?
also on Hulu. Yeah.
Okay.
And the concept, you know how much I love a good practical joke. I love jokes. The concept is they take this dude and they assign him jury duty, but like everybody else is an actor and
Oh.
he's not in on it. And so like
Okay, that's hilarious.
yeah, everything's going on. And James Marsden, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
The
James
dude from
Marsden.
Dead Like Me?
Marsden?
Yeah,
Marsden.
Marsden. He's in it as himself, like being called for jury duty as the actor.
Oh
And
my
he's
God.
hilarious and I love it so much. It's
That's
fantastic.
so great.
Highly
I'm
recommend.
gonna have to watch it. I love it. I love it. That's a really great concept. That's funny.
They did that concept a few years back, many years back, with The Bachelor. They did it was called the Joe Schmo Show. And it was like some dude who, like, he was in a dating show, but everybody else was an actor. And it was hilarious.
That's funny.
Hilarious. Yes,
that's
very
great.
good. Yes.
I like it.
I like it. So let's talk about The Ultimatum real quick, guys. Fast forward maybe 2-3 minutes if you don't want to hear our thoughts on it.
Oh my
we've
God.
watched through episode 8, right?
Yeah, I've watched all of the episodes. I don't know how many there are.
Yeah, so you might get spoiled. So skip ahead a little bit.
Skip ahead. Yeah.
Favorite couple, go. Like, who do you want to end up together?
Xander and Yoli.
Yes.
I'm not good with the names. We talked about this yesterday.
Vanessa,
but I love them. Vanessa is evil. Vanessa needs to go into the trash pile with all of the other people that
Vanessa's
we put in there.
Who could be a holdie if he shaved
could
that
be
beard.
A holdie. Could be a holdie.
Vanessa's dad read the situation perfectly.
Yes, he did.
7 when he was
it was amazing.
I
was like, this dad knows his shit. What dads actually know this stuff? I was really impressed.
I was too. He was basically like, are you sure you're not just trying to win Xander back to win? And Vanessa was like, oh, and you could see her tearing up because he nailed it.
Yep, totally called her out on her shit.
The minute Xander was like, I'm in love with Yoli, Vanessa was like, I've got to win. And I'm not.
I know.
Vanessa is terrible.
Vanessa's terrible.
I don't judge her because I've been in that position where you just,
yes,
you're so heartbroken, you can't be rejected. So you need
I get it. But I think outside of that, she's truly evil. Like like, I actually have wondered if she's even a real person or if she's like a decoy that they've thrown in there. Because I feel like she's so evil that I don't want her to be a real human.
And she's like always smiling.
Yes, like maniacally.
And her default always is how hot she is.
I know, and I
Like, the
don't
minute
get
she's
that.
uncomfortable, she's like, "But I look so hot, but I'm so
Yes.
hot." It's weird.
Yes, it is so weird. And I don't get that because obviously her dad is, like, super cool. He seems like he is. I mean, I don't know what he was like,
Yeah,
as she was growing up, but, like,
right.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
like
we know how
her.
dad was growing up. I mean, he sat there and said, "You should renew your marriage vows every 7 years to decide if you wanna opt in or out."
Oh, I
I
know.
think
You're right,
dad
you're
was
right, you're right,
that
you're
was a
right.
little bit of a Burt Reynolds, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, a Burt Reynolds.
"Oh,
Grr.
Mr. Burt Reynolds." "Oh my god, you're Mr. Burt Reynolds." Um, Sam needs to leave Aussie immediately. Aussie
Immediately.
needs to go into therapy immediately. I love Aussie,
I love
but
Aussie too.
they are
Yeah,
Aussie is
damaged.
damaged. Something real bad occurred in that person's childhood. I
Mhm,
feel terrible for
mhm.
them,
I do too.
but you need to
Eh,
work that shit out
you
before
do need
you
to work that
drag
shit out.
somebody else in.
And I also really love, Mal.
Mal. Oh,
I love Mal, first
I
of
love
all,
Mal.
for so
Yeah.
many ways, but
Yes.
I don't know, like, I loved Mal so much in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
and but by, like, by episode 8, I was like, "Oh," after they, like,
Mm.
went back. Did you see it yet? That
Yes.
last
Yes.
episode? Oh, okay, okay,
Yep.
okay. I couldn't
Yep.
remember because the last
Yeah,
time
I'm
we
all the way
talked.
through. All the
Okay,
way
okay,
through.
cool, cool, cool. But do you remember, like, I said yesterday when we were talking that there's an episode when they're back, like, what is her partner's name?
Lexi.
Yoli.
Yoli.
Lexi.
Yoli.
It's
Sorry.
Yoli, right?
Her fake marriage was
Her
Lexi.
fake, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know. I saw a different side to Mal in some of those exchanges when they were back with their, like, original partners.
It sounds to me like Mal, how do I say this nicely? Wasn't carrying their weight.
No.
And Yoli was like, all of a sudden you're carrying your weight. Now, I will say this. People show up differently in different relationships, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure the
Yeah.
person that Timmy dated before me thought like he wasn't serious about anything and blah blah blah, was fucking off, and like he met me and was like total Mr. Responsibility. And I was the
Okay.
same way. You know what I mean? Like I was very different with my first husband,
Mhm,
how I
mhm,
am with
mhm.
my current husband. So like
Correct. Yeah, I get that.
people show up different.
Yeah, I mean, different relationships bring out different sides of us, but I
Yes,
do feel like with Yoli, we're getting a really crappy side of Mal. That's
I
what I'm
agree.
seeing anyway.
Yoli is gorgeous.
I love Yoli.
Oh,
Mm. I really love Xander too, though.
I love Xander too. I just want them to be together.
Me
They need to
too.
be protected at all
I
costs.
know. Like, I wanna go in there and be like, "Get away from them."
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Vanessa just needs to, I don't know.
Vanessa needs to go in the trash pile. I'm sorry I'm saying
Trash
it.
pile, trash
Trash
pile,
pile.
100%.
Sorry.
Um, so we're recording video, guys, today.
Am I allowed to drink my coffee?
Yeah, let's toast our coffees. Ready? Cheers.
Cheers.
Is that a McDonald's cup?
No, I got this. I don't remember where, but it does say make shit happen.
Oh,
So I
okay.
chose that for this podcast today.
Mine says radiate positive energy.
Ooh, all right.
It's Samantha's. It's my daughter's.
Oh, well, whatever.
So if you're not on YouTube watching us, we're going to refer to some things in person maybe. So hopefully that doesn't annoy you too much. Like this glow that I have coming in that makes me look almost ethereal, which I don't know. I don't know how to stop it. So I just
I
have
mean,
like a
I'm in the jungle of all my plant children, so
I just have a
it is
saintly
what it
glow
is.
over my
They all
shoulder.
have names. I've got Bert Birkin, baby Jessica.
Oh, baby Jessica,
This
did it
is
fall down a well?
this is Latoya, and we have Robin, and that's
Ro-
Freddie on the end.
Robin
Sob and
Brown?
Robin. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sob and Robin. Yep.
That plant is useless then?
Correct. It's actually the one that drives me the most insane because I'm always killing it and resurrecting it, and it's like every time it needs water, and I just with the fake
Okay,
tear,
I got
you
you.
know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because they're all dried up because I'm not really good at it, but I'm finding
I
my
totally
way.
get you. I have like an accidental green thumb. Like if things survive, it's
Mm.
like like I'm really good at keeping things alive, but I don't know how I do it.
Right. Oh, okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
just happens. So,
Alright, alright. I
all
like
right.
it.
So let's get into Love and Death. Love and Death,
Mm,
season 1, episode 4. So I do want to say to everyone, I'm just gonna. I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to turn this off. So I'm just gonna put this out there right now. I can't help but make fun of this shit, even though someone is brutally murdered.
I
So what I
know.
want to say is, I am not making fun
Of a
of Betty
murder.
Gore's murder. It
Right.
was tragic. It was awful. It was like the worst thing that could happen to this little town and
Mm,
these poor children.
yes, and
However,
mm,
however, much like when I'm watching a show and they do the crime reenactments, I can't help but laugh because
I know.
it's just so
The
absurd sometimes.
acting is absurd.
Mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
I know, because 'cause I'm
Like,
with you on it.
for example, you'll be watching like one of these ID shows. They're like the culprits, and somebody will look like they'll just be a mess. Like they look like me. They're like an old meatball. Do you know what I mean? Gray hair, barely rolled out of bed, and they
I hate
cast
you.
somebody that looks like Angelina Jolie to play them in the reenactment, and you're like, "Wow, this casting director was fucking generous."
Oh my god.
But okay.
Speaking of which, who would play you if we were in, like, a murder show, right? Let's
Oh,
say,
I feel
like
like Melanie Linsky could play me. Slap a pair of
okay.
glasses on her.
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know who would play me.
Laura Linney.
Oh, I do like Laura Linney.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm,
Melanie Linsky and Laura Linney in The Story of Our Lives.
that's really funny, actually.
Mhm.
Laura
All right.
Linney, that's one that I've never heard. Can we talk about how my hair is curly
It looks
and I
cute.
didn't ask for it to be? It just suddenly got curly when I turned 40?
Do you love how I didn't even have to think about Laura Linney? I just pulled it out.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
I don't know. She would be
I
a
don't
good
know,
you, I think.
I think you're probably right. It's just not something that I've ever thought of.
Well, unfortunately, we have to start thinking middle-aged now.
I know. I'm like, "Oh, it's not like, I don't know, 1993 Jennifer Aniston or 2023 Jennifer Aniston, either one."
I feel like Melanie Linsky could play me.
She totally could.
That could happen. She
I
might be a little
also
tall,
but I
but
also think, you know who else could totally play you? Tina Fey.
if she gained 60
Will
pounds,
you shut up, asshole head?
no, but I feel like my like whole presence has to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like that's part of who I am.
But she's also Tina Fey is, like, gorgeous and
Oh,
hilarious and
100%. She's
reminds me
amazing.
so much of you.
She's
She could
amazing.
totally play you.
Amazing.
Shut up
So
with the
so
meatball
Tina
shit.
Fey and Laura Linney in a buddy comedy. All right,
Oh,
13 minutes
Lord.
in. Let's
Alright,
start this shit.
everybody just tuned out. We're done. Cheers.
So, Love and Death, Season 1, Episode 4, Do No Evil. We pick up right where we left off. Betty appears with the axe in her hand. And Candy's
Mm.
like, Betty, Betty, sweetheart, what are you doing? I got to get into it. I got to warm up.
I know, it's so
And
great.
Betty,
I just have to let it happen because I love it so much. I'm just here for it myself.
you guys, if you're watching, you'll see me start going like this. This is the
That's
thing.
when
I
you
don't know.
know it's taken full effect. Like, we're at 99.9% when we're here. It's
Yeah,
there.
when the hand is across the neck, like,
Yeah,
oh my
Amy,
God.
we're in full character. Yeah,
Hmm.
we're
So
there.
Betty says, "You can't have my man and you can never see him again." And Candy tells her, "It's been over and I'll never see him again. By the way, I'm not babysitting your kid anymore because this got awkward. So I'll bring her on by."
But how about how Betty's like, "No, you won't.
Yeah, Betty's like, "You can keep the kid."
You can keep the kid." Like, what? Like, I don't
Okay.
understand what is happening in on either ends here. This
Betty,
is
she's lost it.
it's a
According to
whole
Candy. I mean, this is all
I
based on
know.
Candy's
I can't
recollection.
right.
So Candy walks in the
I
laundry
have
room.
so many thoughts. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting.
It's fine. Candy walks in the laundry room. Betty appears with the towel, she was like, "Oh, here's the towel."
Yeah.
And insists on giving Candy some peppermints for Alyssa, the huge pain in the ass.
Which I also still haven't figured out why anyone would want a peppermint when they're in cold water.
Me
Sorry.
either.
Like, that's all cold and ugh.
Now we have the murder. So here's what I've written down for the murder. The murder.
The murder.
Candy puts her hand on Betty's shoulder and
I
says,
just figured
"I'm
out who would play me.
who?
Barbara Streisand.
Gosh.
I just got a glimpse of my nose and I'm like, that's it. I just
Okay.
figured it out.
All
Sorry.
right.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry,
So,
guys.
can we get back to the person being
We can
murdered?
get back to
Okay.
the actual reason we're here.
Okay. So Candy puts her hand on Betty's shoulder and says, "I am so sorry, Betty." And Betty shoves her and screams, "You can't have him. I'm having another baby." Now, she attacks her with an axe, and I just have a few points about this.
I know, me too.
They're fighting. Betty smacks Candy in the head with the back of the axe, which I am someone raising my hand who has had blunt force trauma to my head. Okay?
With a
I was
payphone,
hit.
right?
Yes, I was in a fight when I was 15 years old, and this girl
Mhm,
bashed my head
mhm.
open with a payphone. Long story.
Don't think I don't know her
Um,
name.
yes, we know her name. She bashed
Mhm.
my head in with a payphone receiver,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the blood just would not stop. I needed 7 staples in my head.
Oh
It would not
my gosh.
stop.
That
Yes.
actually okay, so my parents, when I was much obviously younger, my parents were still together, they had, like, gone away to visit family in, like, Connecticut or whatever, because they would do that occasionally and left us home alone, and my 2 older sisters, Kim and Leah, got because girls, 5 girls in the house, somebody was always beating the shit out of someone else,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Kim and Leah got into this huge fight, and I'll never forget it. Like, Leah was like like lassoed that big phone receiver from the
Oh, there you
kitchen
go.
wall and like whacked Kim in the head. She had a cracked skull. Like, it was bad. My parents had to come home from Connecticut. It was like a whole thing.
So
So I
what
get
would
it.
this do if she was hit in the back of the in the head with the back of an axe?
But was Betty just like,
I could tell
like,
you this, it wouldn't be trickling. Wouldn't be
mm-mm,
trickling
mm-mm,
blood.
mm.
Okay.
So weird.
So then we see the phone ring. Oh, wait, and then at one point, Betty takes a swing and hits Candy in the foot. But that's
Yes.
not clear either. It looks like she
It's
just
not.
nicked her toe, maybe.
Yeah.
That's why you don't wear flip-flops. Although,
Mm.
got mine on right now. Can't lift my leg up high enough, but I got mine on right now.
I got my Birks on.
There you go.
There we go.
So we see the phone ring, and it's Alan, and he's like, he knows something's wrong because he can't get a hold of her.
Mhm.
So that's the murder, and it
Mhm.
all takes place in the laundry room. So
Mhm.
now Candy comes walking out of the house, and she's soaking wet, and I just wrote odd choice. But I think,
Right, yeah.
you have to weigh the options here. Do I leave my murder scene soaking wet, or do I leave my murder scene covered in blood?
I
I think
know.
the soaking wet is a little
I
less,
know.
I
I'm
don't know,
gonna tell you,
problematic.
I don't know if that would have ever occurred to me, though, to jump in
To
the
take a
shower.
shower?
Yeah. Like, I think I would be too panicked to even think about that.
Well, the
And
fact that she left the baby,
that's
we
what I
get a
was just
little
gonna
hint of
say.
her state of mind.
I know. That
Like
baby was in that house for a long time.
I would have brought the baby with me and just said, "Oh, when I was over there, she asked me if I could watch the baby."
Yeah, or I would have, you know what I would have said? She was really, I could tell she was having a really stressful day. I wanted to give her some time to herself. So I offered to take Bethany,
Bethany.
Bethany, right? For the afternoon. That's what I
Mhm.
would have said.
Mhm. Yeah,
And we took
that's
a
a good
shower first. Bethany shit all
So,
over me. I had to take a shower.
she
I
has a
don't
single
know.
drop of blood visible in her hairline, not a thing. She gets in her car, some weird neighborhood kid goes over and rings the doorbell, and I just wrote, "She's not home, dude, give it up." So now we see Candy driving, and she's flashing back to swinging the axe and blood everywhere. It takes real intention to kill someone with an axe. I'm just gonna say that.
I
I told
agree.
you my Graham's friend was murdered. Her
Oh,
dad cut
yeah.
off the mom's head with the axe.
Uh-huh.
You really
I
got to
remember that.
be into it.
You have
You
to
got
be
to be
like
into this
legit
murder.
unhinged and committed.
Yeah.
Like, that's
'Cause-
full on commitment to murder. Like, that's
Yes, I
not
agree.
just like, "Oh, shit, I'm pissed off and she's swinging an axe, I'm gonna hit her back, and then I'm like, I don't know, dude. I have so many issues with this story.
So she drives home, she peels off her clothes, and she washes them. And I just wrote, this is why women get away with murder, because we know
Mhm.
how to wash clothes in a way that's not going to get you caught,
I know.
right? She
Absolutely.
showers, she tends to her toe wound and her head wound.
And her
Then
head
she
wound.
heads then she heads to the church to get the kids, and Queen of Hearts is playing. I love that song. It's on my playlist, guys. Spotify playlist.
Check it out.
Check it out. She can't get her head to stop bleeding, but it's only a
Mhm.
slight trickle. She
Yeah, I
gets
don't
to the
understand
church.
this.
She gets to church. Everyone's like, "Where were you, Candy? What
Mhm.
happened?" Oh, maybe you could play those people. So question me.
Oh,
Go ahead.
where were you, Candy?
You have
We've
to say
been
you missed the
waiting for
puppet
you.
show.
Oh, you missed the puppet show. I take no notes, you
Okay,
guys. I suck.
wait. Ready and action. Go.
Where were you, Candy? You missed the puppet show.
Oh, I went to Betty's and we just got to talking. And I looked at my watch and I thought I had enough time to go to Target to get Father's Day cards. So I drove all the way to Plano. But when I got in the parking lot, I realized my watch had stopped. So I was late. I didn't even go in. I'm so upset. So she has this rehearsed.
Yeah, she
And
does.
she says
It's
this to
crazy.
everyone. Yes.
I know. I thought of this
Which,
too. Like, what makes you look more guilty than when you just won't shut up? Right?
yeah.
Sometimes, like, just
Yeah.
shut up with the details.
Well, and again, we go back to Amy Archer's School of Lying. It's like she's trying to convince herself if I say it enough and I believe it, then it's
Yeah.
true. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So everyone's like, "Where the hell were you?" Blah blah blah. Okay. So now we see her in I I wrote we see her in a fig, but I think it's we see her in a fog. So she's like in a fog and she's like just doing shit but
Yes.
doesn't know what she's doing. Do you
Yes.
know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
She's
Yes. Yes.
clearly like shaken. She takes the
Yeah,
kids
she
to her
wasn't in a
Father's Day
fig
cards.
tree. She was in a fog of
Yes.
her
She was
trauma.
not in a Fig Newton, which was my favorite cookie when I was little.
Same. It actually might still be one of my favorites.
Oh my god, it's so good. When my
It's not a
girls were
cookie,
little, that
mother.
was their treat.
Oh, yeah.
Would you
Oh,
like
my kids
another
still
cookie?
love it.
Would you like a Fig Newton?
It's not a cookie, mother. It's a new. What does he say? Wait. No, he does say, it's a fig Newton.
Yes, yes. It's not a cookie, mother.
It's a
Um,
fig Newton.
so she calls Pat
Huh?
and she tells him that she was late and he thinks this is all very weird.
Yeah, you can
Like you
tell
could
it's written
tell
like, yeah, he's even like caught
Potty
a
Pat
little.
is like, I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then Sherry, hero, shows up and she's immediately, and this would be you and me. She's immediately like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
wrong? What's wrong? Betty blows her off. Meanwhile,
I know.
Alan is at the airport now and he's still calling Betty and getting no answer. And I just wrote here, do you remember what it was like to not be able to reach somebody?
Not really. I mean, I do,
Right?
but it's
Yeah, it's been a long
bizarro.
time.
It's been a long time.
Hmm.
One thing, okay, we need to stop because I
Okay.
need to talk about this.
Okay.
If if I murdered someone and like you showed up and were like, immediately like, what's wrong? Like, because
Yes.
you would know, I think
Yes.
I would tell you. I
Yes.
don't think a world exists in which I murder someone and you aren't an accomplice in some way because I've told you.
Yeah, I agree with
Like
this.
like an
The only thing,
accessory or I don't know. I know nothing about the
thanks.
law. I'm like making shit up. No, but I'm just saying like I would tell you. I would
The
not
only
tell
thing I
anyone
could
else,
think of,
but just know I will tell you.
the only thing I could think of is she doesn't really think she did it. Like I think she's just in some kind of altered
Mm,
state where she truly believes like have you ever had something happen and you're like, "Oh my god, I wish that never," like you wish it didn't happen so much that like you almost convince yourself that it didn't. Do you know what I mean?
no,
Like I
I'm
remember
not delusional. No, like I
this
do
is
know
not
what you're
similar,
saying.
but I
I
remember
do know
waking
what you're
up
saying.
the day after my gram died and thinking, "Did that really
Mhm.
happen?" Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we can
Yeah.
get into that if we try. And she's
Alright.
delusional. Okay.
Alright, alright. I'm gonna
So
take your word for this
Alan's
one.
just being an idiot, whatever. By the way, I saw a picture of the actor who plays Alan. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
Smoking hot.
Shut up.
Yeah, when he's not made up in this role, he's really hot.
Alright, I'm gonna look that up
Yeah.
immediately when we're done.
Yep. So at
Ooh.
the movies, Candy is watching, and it's the part, I think it's Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back, where Luke cuts open the beast and all the
I
maggots are
have
in there. Oh, I
never seen
remember that
this. Is it
vividly.
Star Wars? Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never seen it.
yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
Star Wars.
Not a fan.
Might even be the first one. I can't remember, but I remember that scene.
I
So
got nothing.
Alan finally calls the neighbor and asks him to check on Betty. And neighbor's like, okay, hold on, I'll check. And this goes back and forth. And I wrote at this point, don't they have a baby? Aren't the dogs outside?
I
Like when this
know.
neighbor goes over, isn't he gonna
And
be
he's, like,
like,
ringing the doorbell or, like, the
yeah,
dogs yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
wouldn't he be like,
I
those
know.
fucking annoying dogs were outside all day barking?
I know.
And the
The
dogs'
dogs
names
just
are like
disappeared. Like, they
Candy
had
and
weird
Sugar or
names.
something. I don't know.
Right.
So he tells Alan, there's no answer. They must be gone out. Like Betty's gonna go out to the club with a
Oh.
baby. Whatever.
It
At
this
Candy's,
was so typical, like, stupid '80s dudes or whatever that just, like, had no fucking idea what was happening at home or what these women were doing all day
yep.
long. "Oh, she's gone out." Yeah, shut up, idiot. You don't even
Well,
know.
that's because they were like living a second life on their lunch breaks.
A 17-hour lunch break every day,
Yep. Yep.
100%.
Now, Alan calls Candy, and Candy tells him very loudly in front of Pat that she saw Betty this morning. I just
Yep.
saw her this morning. She seemed okay, Alan. So then
Hmm.
Alan asks, was she okay? And Candy's like, yep, whatever. Now we see
I
Alan at dinner. Go ahead.
I do have to say,
Hmm.
Alan, throughout this whole thing, did not seem upset enough for me.
I agree. Like, I have a note here later. Like, he knows his wife was murdered in his
And
house,
he's
and
just
he's
laying in the
still in
hotel
the
in a bed.
hotel.
Yeah, I was like, I would be running somewhere. Like,
Like,
I
it's
don't
his.
even know what I would be doing, but, like, the rage I felt for how calm he was making me crazy. Like,
Like,
get up and try to get home.
I looked it up. It would be a 14-hour drive from St. Paul,
But I
but
would be
I would do
flying
it.
as fast as I could
Yes,
if I had
I
to
would do it.
steal someone's car. Like, I don't even
14-hour drive.
understand.
I could make it, Nate.
Same.
Okay. So Alan's at dinner with some dudes and he just can't think straight. So he goes to call her again. Then he calls the neighbor back. Go see if her car's there. So eventually they figure this out, right? All the
Mhm,
neighborhood dads
mhm.
come together.
And I
They
actually thought this was really sweet, the
I did
neighborhood
too.
dads.
I did too. The neighborhood
I
dads
did.
were you able to pick out any holdies in there?
That would mean that I would remember what they looked like from a week ago,
I
and I
didn't
don't.
really see any. I mean, it's hard to
Uh,
find a holdie when everybody's dressed in 70s gear.
yeah, and that yeah, it's not good. It's not
Not good.
good.
Mm-mm.
Not good.
That was
Mm-mm.
not a great decade for fashion
No. Well, for women, it was.
for
I'm
women.
really yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So they
is
find the front
fashion
door.
ever good for men?
Oh, yes, I
Honestly?
think so.
Okay,
Yes.
tell me. Like, tell me what.
Oh,
What do
I
you
think like
like?
okay, so this is weird. We're going into a weird area. So like a nice pair of jeans with a nice dress shirt, maybe a suit coat, and like
Okay.
some brown leather shoes. That's sweet.
Alright.
I could
So
get there.
like a business cash.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Oh, sorry. I better explain Timmy's wardrobe in case
I
he's
was
listening.
that's literally
What
why I
I
was just
find
like,
what I
do you
find
mean
super
like slippers and Carhartt pants?
what I find super hot is a nice pair of Carhartt pants with a black t-shirt and some Skechers slippers
And a beanie.
and a beanie.
I miss the beanie.
So they look around, they find blood. Well, first they find the baby covered in her own
Oh
poop.
my god.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
good. It's not good.
no. That
They
poor
scoop her up,
baby.
they get her out of there.
Poor
Now, one
Bethany.
dude walks around just contaminating the crime scene, just touching all the surfaces and shit,
I know.
and freaks out when he sees Betty. The phone rings and it's Alan. And I just wrote, oh my God, now they have to tell him
Tell him.
this.
I know.
Okay, let's talk about how you would tell me.
Oh my god, Amy, I don't even know.
So you're in the house, you find Timmy murdered. Okay, I call you. Bling, bling, bling. Bling, bling. You gotta answer the phone. Bling, bling,
Hello?
bling. Hey, Steph, did you find him? What's going on?
Oh my god, Amy, I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry.
Okay, what's wrong?
There's been a terrible accident. I don't know what happened, but it looks like Timmy's been murdered. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You need to
Okay.
come
Wrong.
home.
Wait, hold on. Okay. So now we'll roll reverse. Okay, you call me. You call me.
All right. Ring.
Well, my ringtone is gonna be more like "Welcome to the jungle."
Welcome to the jungle. We have
Hello?
to. Hey, have you seen Patrick? I can't get a hold of him. I've
No,
been
no, no,
trying
no,
to get.
no, no. I'm at your house. You've already sent me over. So now
Oh
you're just
shit.
saying, "What did you find?" Go
All right,
ahead.
Amy, what's going on at my house?
Um, listen, I don't want you to
What?
freak out,
Oh my
but
god, I'm freaking out.
I need you to get home. The
Oh
baby's
my
okay,
god.
but I need you to get
Oh
home.
my god, I'm on my way.
I need you to get home. That's how you handle it. That's how you handle it. You're not like I mean, at one point they're talking about this girl being like run through a cheese grater. Like, come on, guys. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's so
So
ridiculous. These
at
dads
first
though, I did write like, oh, they were sweet.
they were sweet. They were sweet. And at first it looks to them like Betty's been shot because all they see is a
Shot,
ton of
yeah.
blood. Yeah.
Blood.
So meanwhile, Candy and Pat are banging, like
They
banging,
are. Mhm.
going at it. They learned a lot in Marriage
Yes.
Encounter.
They
And
did.
the phone rings and it's Alan and he's
They
like,
were
"Oh,
going at it like
Candy?"
full Renaissance style.
Yes, they were like full Renaissance fair. And Alan calls Candy. He's like, Betty's dead." And Candy's like, "Oh my god." And he's like, "Can you keep Alyssa for a while until I can get there?" Which I mean, I got dinner and I got to go to so I'll be around maybe in 2 days. Whatever, Alan.
My god, I can't.
Candy starts to cry. Okay. Now, the police arrive
Mhm.
on the scene. And there is this dude who looks like Boss Hog,
Oh
but
my god, he did.
yes.
That
And
is he did. I do
just
remember that.
I was going to say put a cowboy
Yes.
hat on him, but I think he has one.
Yes. He
Okay.
probably did have one.
So Boss Hog and his buddies show up on the scene and they're walking around and they see that she's been reading a newspaper with an advertisement for The Shining. And this dude gets all horned up over this is some cult. And we have some
Ugh.
satanic panic. So if you don't know what satanic panic was, guys, like in the
Mm.
80s, everybody thought that kids were in cults and there were satanic cults coming to get us. It was a whole
And,
thing.
like,
Look it up.
there weren't. What the hell was that
No,
shit?
no, it was
What but
stupid.
why?
They just
Whatever,
thought
we don't have enough time for this.
because I think it was a time, don't forget, it was during like, we're at a point now where the Reagan administration is coming in, right? Like the country is going back to this quote unquote traditional values, which is bullshit. And
Mhm.
everybody's like uber Catholic. And the opposite of that is like the devil is trying to torment you. So like everybody who was not part of who was other in some way
Mhm,
was
mhm, mhm.
clearly like possessed by the devil. It was so
Okay.
dumb. It was so
It's
dumb.
so weird.
So
Losers.
he's like, "Looks like one of them cult deals. Call in the infantry, Jim. We need all hands on deck for this cult loving cycle." Okay. So Alan calls while the police are there. Boss Hog tells him, "Here's what happened, blah, blah, blah." I wrote, Alan is in St. Paul, Minneapolis or Minnesota. Why is he not driving home? It's only 14
I wrote
hours. I
I
understand he
wrote the
gets a
same
plane
thing.
the next day, but like, get
Not
home.
not soon enough, Alan.
Not soon enough.
Mr.
Not soon
Gore.
enough.
Mm-mm.
So the dude asks Alan if he knows anyone else that was in the house that day, and Alan tells him yes, Candy was there. Now we have a real
Mhm.
police officer show up. Like this dude graduated from the police academy,
Yeah.
and
He
he's
is like
appalled.
mhm.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, no, go ahead. No,
He's like a
I
real
was
cop.
agreeing. He was a
Mm-hmm.
real cop, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's here to, like he's solving this crime.
He's gonna solve it. He
Yeah.
walked in, he's like, is the goal to contaminate as much of the crime scene as possible? Because everybody's in this house.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone.
Mm-hmm. So,
Crazy.
where am I?
Doesn't it like okay, so this is, like, so typical, though, of, like, that era when neighbors were all friends and everyone was in everyone's business, like,
Yeah.
we don't do
Yeah.
that anymore. I kinda wish
I
we
don't
did a
live in
little
a
bit.
neighborhood, but yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I do, but
I
I don't
lived in
know.
a neighborhood
I
and I hated all my neighbors, so
well, yeah, I mean, when you hate your neighbors, yeah, but, like, there is a part of me that does wish that we still had that sense of community in our neighborhoods that I don't think we have anymore. At
I
least
agree. I
I
agree.
mean, I'm still in a neighborhood, but most of my neighbors are older, but I don't know, I just feel like that's, like, something of the past, and I just would like that to come back.
So I feel like there's a weird sense of that up here in the country. Like I
Okay.
do feel like neighbors really help each other out. I know my neighbors, they're far from me, they're not right on top of me, but I know
Mhm.
them. We help each other out with
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean? There's that kind of thing. But we don't
I
hang
just
out.
mean yeah, I just mean,
Yeah.
like, I love
But I
the
grew up
idea
like
of,
that.
like but that's what I mean. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, but, like, that
Mhm.
idea where everybody gathers in our backyards and we
Mhm.
do weekly
Mhm.
cookout I don't know, it just looks
Yeah.
like
No,
a
I totally grew
community
up
that I
like
would
that.
like
Yep.
yeah, I
Yep.
kind of didn't, so I don't know. I just like it. That's
My
all.
street had 5 families on it. Like, there were only, like, maybe 8 houses, and 5 of them had kids, all
Mhm.
like, 2
Oh,
kids that were all our age.
I know, I
So,
know.
it was like party central on my block growing
Mm.
up. Alright, so at the
Okay.
crime scene the next day oh, wait, hold on. So, let me back up a minute. So, the cop shows up, he's appalled about this, and then we see Alan calling Candy, and he's getting on a flight home the next day, and he needs her to keep Alyssa longer. Sherry calls, and they agree to talk about this once Sherry gets rid of all the relations in my house.
Oh my
And
god.
then I just wrote, Candy's phone is ringing off the hook. This is spreading quicker than a gender reveal party on a windy day.
What do you think
Oh,
of gender reveal parties?
not a fan. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say.
I know,
First of
I don't know
all,
how I
I
feel about
mean,
it.
the the more like we go into this whole thing, the weirder I feel like the whole gender thing is to begin with.
Mhm, mhm.
But I mean, if you want to do it like in the comfort of your own home or have a party or something, dude, just don't light like California on fire.
Thank you. Yeah,
Like, don't do something
agreed.
stupid.
Stupid.
You know what I
Right.
mean? It's dumb.
Mhm. Because I guess the thing like, this is a terrible thing to say, especially if
Uh-oh.
any alright, so, like, the truth is, no one really gives a fuck.
Right.
Like, you care, and I
I mean,
get that,
let's
like,
face it. You're just
I
gonna be
give
disappointed if it's a boy. That's all.
yeah. Oh, Amy!
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
guys, no, the people need to know. When was this? Probably, like, I don't know, October 2002, maybe a little before that. I was pregnant with twins. I will just say the first of
Don't
us
know
to
what you're
have the
talking about.
twins. And I will never forget. All right, first of all, it's actually really hilarious how I actually found out what I was having. Do you remember? I have to tell the story because it's kind of funny, and I think the holdies and goldies will appreciate it. So we were driving by. We were. It was a lunchtime at our old job in the original building in town,
Mhm. Mhm.
and across the street from our building was a bank.
Mhm.
And I'm driving, and I was pregnant. I was not very far along, but I had a really big belly. And out of stopped at a red light, and out from the bank runs this guy. He comes out of the bank like running, and he's in like a body cast, like from
Oh
like the
my
waist
god.
up, where his
Mhm.
arms were like he had like the things like holding, and he was like,
Mhm.
and he started like running up the street, and I was like horrified, and I crashed into the car in front of me. Like I was only doing
Mm.
like 5 miles an hour, like
Yeah.
nothing happened,
So you had
but
to
I
go to
got
the
out of the
hospital.
car yeah, and I hit the guy in
Mhm.
front of me, and he was so nice. It was like a 300-year-old beat up pickup. The guy didn't even care.
Yeah.
There was no damage. But I
Right.
bumped him, and he was like, "Oh my god, honey, we need to get." I'm like, I'm fine, whatever." I went to the hospital, and that's
Yeah,
how
they
I
have to
found
do an
out I was
ultrasound.
having boys.
Mhm.
And I go back to the office, of course, because who wouldn't just go home after being in a car accident kind of, and whatever. I
You
go
had to
back
come
to
back
work.
and talk to us.
Yeah, I
We
had to
were
come
all
back and tell
waiting.
them. Yeah. And
Mhm.
I was like, I found out what they are, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. And like secretly hiding my own disappointment because you guys, I, Jacob and Nathan, if you're listening, just wait. So I had grown
You've
up.
come to love that you had boys,
I
but at first
sure fucking do.
yeah.
I grew up with I have 4 sisters, I have a brother, but
Mhm,
I knew what to do with girls. I didn't know what to
mhm,
do with boys. But anyway,
mhm.
I would go into the office and I'm like, it's 2 boys. And Amy, literally in the middle of our office, shrieks, no!
I did say no. Nope, 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 nope,
Yep. Mhm.
nope. Never
That was
happened.
the
I don't know what you're
support I
talking
got
about.
from my best friend
Mhm.
on the day that I found out I was having twin boys. That was the
I would
support I
trade you those
received.
boys right now.
I know, that's
I
why.
would pay you
Who's
$1,000,000
laughing
to
now,
trade those
bitch?
kids.
Who's laughing now?
Okay,
Alright, sorry,
alright, fine,
everybody.
whatever.
They
Okay.
hate us.
No, 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 they don't. They love us. Okay. So Alan gets home. Oh, wait, first at the crime scene. Okay. This crime scene examiner dude is there. And he's like, this was not premeditated because the weapon is unusual. That makes no sense.
Mm-mm.
Signs of a struggle. That makes no sense. You could still have a premeditated murder and somebody struggles.
Right.
This dude is an idiot.
Idiot.
They need like a group of middle-aged Reddit women on this.
Yeah.
So Boss Hog says, "Oh, it was a crime sex, maybe," and then he goes and jerks off in the
A
bathroom.
crime sex, or you mean a sex crime?
I mean, a crime sex. You know what I meant. The examiner says
A
the footprints are so small they can't be a man. A woman did this, or a kid.
kid.
And you know, Boss Hog is like a satanic kid with a crime sex.
What that crime sex?
What does crime
In,
sex look like?
in what world does a kid come? Does anyone's mind go to a kid?
I know, it's so weird.
Does yours? Mine never would.
No, mine would not. No.
All right. But I also am not a cop, so, or a boss hog, so whatevs.
We're already 45 minutes in. We're not even halfway through the episode. We gotta move.
Sorry,
All
you
right.
guys.
Alan gets home. There's a ton of reporters there. There's a guy named Dick, and he's there, and he tells Alan what happened, and he holds nothing back. He's like, there was a brutal axe murder, which took weeks to clean up. Like he doesn't say weeks, he says hours. But like, dude, maybe relax a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
be like, Betty was murdered. It happened in this room.
I
Wasn't
know.
good.
You know what I think? I think that these people have like never seen anything like this before, though. I don't
But
think
you
any of
gotta
them knew
read
what to
the
do with it.
room. You
I
gotta
know.
describe it to the husband.
Again, white dudes in the 80s.
That's true. So Betty was always afraid something would happen. Alan's going, and she was right. I should have been here. And now Candy and Pat show up the next day, and they're with Alyssa. And Candy's all, "Oh, Alan,
I
oh,
know.
is there anything I can do for you?" And he's like, "Why don't you stay with me while I tell my little girl that her mother's been murdered?"
I
Now,
know.
again.
Oh, this was such an awkward scene. So
Okay.
awkward.
He walks in, guys. Imagine this. He walks, well, hopefully you've watched it. He walks in, grabs the kid, kneels down. Cat and Pandy. I mean, Cat and
Cat and
Pandy are
Candy.
standing right behind them.
They sure were.
And, and he tells
They're
her
having a crime sex.
he doesn't even sit her down. He just tells her, "Now, would you say this to a kid?
No.
Last night, someone very bad came into the house and cut
Mm-mm. Cut.
mommy up very badly, and mommy's never coming back. Okay? Okay?
Oh my God. And she's
Okay.
like, that poor child. I
We're gonna
cannot.
reenact
I
this. We're
can't.
gonna reenact this. Ready? You're
Oh, we are.
Alyssa. Come at me, whiny. You're Alyssa.
Oh, Daddy.
Hey, Alyssa.
Oh,
I need you to sit down because
Dad.
we need to talk about something. You gotta see her face. Sit down. Here's a peppermint. Here's a peppermint. Here's some cold water. Okay.
Daddy, it hurts.
It burns.
parents, daddy.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Your mother has died. Okay? It was a terrible accident, but she's dead. She's not coming back. Do you know what that means? That she's up in heaven and she's watching you. And it's really sad for us because we won't see her anymore. But if you close your eyes, you can still hear her and you can still hold her close to your heart. That's how you tell a kid their parents dead.
Oh my God.
You don't say someone came in the house because now she's terrified somebody else is going to come in the house.
Of course, you fucking
He's an
idiot.
idiot. He's an
He's a
idiot.
horrible parent.
So then
I'm
there's this.
sorry.
No,
He's
I
a
agree.
horrible parent. I
Then
hate
there's this
him.
scene. I don't know if you picked up on this
I
where
did.
Candy is hugging both of them and
She's
Pat is just
embracing them, and
standing to the
Pat's
side.
just I did. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, so another thing, sidebar from this scene, but just how is it that Pat never confronts Alan about this affair or even acts like
I
he
know.
wants to punch him in the fucking face? Because what
I
there's
know.
like he harbors no animosity. I just don't understand this.
I know.
Do you?
Well, don't forget the Gores disappeared. So the only place he was seeing them was at church and they took off. So they weren't at church. So this is like the only time he's seeing him now. And I don't think this is the right time to bring it up.
It was so weird, but she's like embracing
It's
them.
weird.
And
Hmm.
it's weird, and he's just it was so awkward. It was really awkward.
So now we're at church and everyone is a buzz about how mutilated Betty was. I heard they put her through a cheese grater. I heard she went through a
Mhm.
sausage maker. Like it was
Oh
bad.
my god, it was so
And
bad.
Tom Pelfrey says it had to have been a sex maniac or burglar. And Candy pulls him aside and she's like, dude, now he must be a lawyer and I missed that. But
I don't know what he is.
dude, I was kind of the last person to see Betty alive.
Mm.
And now I have to go down to the police station. Do you have any advice for little old me? And he's just like, why would you be
Well,
worried about this? And he's like, whoever
yeah.
did this was a big man because she was so fucking chopped up. It's like they put her through the Rompo Peel salad chopper.
Oh my
And
god.
then Candy's like, okay, thanks. All right. Now
Ugh.
we see Betty's mom at the house, and she's super suspicious of marriage encounter. And
Yeah.
she says to Alan, could it have oh wait, I have to be like an older Southern woman. Could it have been a psycho from that cult? And Alan's like, it wasn't a cult, it was marriage encounter. So the women are all
Or
aflutter
Renaissance
because
Fair.
Pastor Ron will be doing the funeral. Caillou.
Caillou, that bastard.
Meanwhile, some woman asked Candy to put food in the freezer, which is in the murder laundry room.
That's so weird. Why would they
Mhm.
like
It's like a
isn't it like
stand-up freezer.
yes, but I also thought like I think I would be the person that people would be like, "Here, you go into the scary room." And I would be like, "Okay."
I'd be like,
That
I
would
will
totally
be.
have I know, but that
Mhm.
in a situation that that would have been me.
Yes. Here, did you pick up on this? Those
Mm,
dogs were barking at the window. They know who
yeah,
did the murder.
they sure
They know.
do.
Hmm.
They always know. Dogs are better than everything.
So Bertha, Betty's mom, comes in and she and Candy share a moment. Candy's like, I'm sorry for your loss, whatever. Now, Father's Day is that Sunday, and Candy is all dressed up. And Pat's like, wow, you look so hot. We learned she's going to the police station all dressed.
Mm. And
That's
she
that's a
is
good
dressed up.
that's a baller move, right?
Yeah, it
You
is.
dress you
Yep.
dress as slutty as
S
possible.
Yep.
Pro tip: you're being fingered for murder. You're
Yep.
being brought down to the police station.
Yep.
You wear the shirt that shows off your tits the best. You
You
wear
do.
the tightest
And
clothing you own.
you get in that car and you pick up every M&M off the floor that you can find that your little rats have
Yes.
thrown around and you stuff them in your bra
And then
so
you
that
get
when the
that
shit gets down,
you
like
just
goes
open that
down, you
bra up
just
and it's like a
open up and
rainbow
it's
of
like
Skittles. Okay. So Candy tells the police what she did that day, including she's like, I read my parables, the three trees. Would you like to hear it? They're like, no.
Shut up, Candy. Just shut up.
They question her about the visit. She tells them exactly what happened, minus the axe murder.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
They ask her what she was wearing. She lies and says, oh, they ask her what shoes she was wearing because they're making impressions. She lies and says, "My blue tennis shoes, do you want them?" They want them. She's
Mhm.
pretty calm.
She
Like
is.
some would say like eerily calm.
Eerily calm,
Mhm.
yeah.
Later we see Candy on the phone. She's chit-chatting and she's chopping up those flip-flops. Which isn't a bad idea. Betty's
I must have
funeral is
missed that.
Yeah, Betty's
I
funeral
don't
is
remember
full
that.
of press. And Pastor Ron is up there and he wants to know why this happened. He's given like a fire and brimstone speech about evil. Guys, I don't have
Mhm.
lice. I keep itching my head because my glasses are digging into my ear
I hate
under
that.
my
It
headphones.
does it
Yeah.
to me too, that's why I have to, like,
Mhm.
take them off every once in a while because it hurts.
So Boss
Eh.
Hog and his cronies are now interviewing Alan, and he tells them the marriage wasn't always great, but Betty was doing okay. He totally blames everything on Betty. She had PPD, postpartum depression, and they went to
Mhm.
marriage encounter and things were improving. They ask about Candy, like if Candy noticed anything weird. Then they ask if Betty ever had an affair, and he tells them about the student she banged in New
Mhm.
Mexico.
Mhm. Mhm.
They ask if he ever had an affair, and he says no. Now, remember, at this point, we know that he has no idea who did this.
Right.
Wouldn't you just want to tell them everything so they could help figure this out? Why is he not telling them? That bothered me.
Um, well, because I think he just didn't want anybody to know. Like, I actually think he was just protecting his, like, not innocence, but, like, his like, what am I trying to say?
So
Help
let's
me.
say his reputation.
Reputation, yeah, I don't know why the word just would not come to my head.
So let's
Thank
see.
you.
Candy knows, Pat knows, and Cherry knows. He can't kill all those people.
I know.
All right.
But does he know
So
that Pat knows? Oh, he does he know? We don't know.
we don't know if he knows that Pat. We don't know if he
We don't
knows
know
that
if he
Pat
knows that
knows
Pat
that they know.
knows.
Yeah.
No, that I know, that you
So
know.
his conscience gets the best of him, as
Mhm.
it should.
As
And
it
he
should.
calls Boss Hog up in the middle of the night and says,
Yep.
BT dubs, I kind of had an affair, and it was with Candy Montgomery.
How about how he's, like, so meek and, you know, there's something that I gotta tell
Hey,
you
boss, there's
that I
something I gotta
wasn't
tell you.
too honest about. Like, come
Well,
on,
let's
dude.
let's let's
Get a
reenact.
backbone.
Ready? I'll be Boss
Okay.
Hog. Ready? You call
Alright.
me.
Brrrr.
Hello, who's
Brrrr.
this? Sex crime, crime sex. What's the cult? Whoa, what are you doing? What's up?
Boss Hog, this is Alan Gore. I'm
Yes,
calling
Alan.
because, uh, I got something I gotta tell you. I wasn't totally honest in everything that I told you
Boss Hog
about.
sits up straight. What you gotta tell me, boy?
Well, Boss Hog, I did have an affair once on Betty, but
Oh, hold on. Let me spank it a little bit. Go on. Was it some crime sex?
it was not a crime sex, but it was with Betty Montgomery.
Not Betty Montgomery.
We
You
are
talking
so
about Candy Montgomery?
Oh my gosh! I'm so bad at this, you guys. I quit.
Okay.
Alright
So,
then.
well,
So
that's
there
the
that
end of
was
the
that.
episode. So, at the end of the episode, we're gonna do our what are we loving, what are we not
Alright.
loving. So
Alright.
I'm gonna say I am loving Candy trying to be criminal mastermind because I get a lot of her apologizing to everyone and just being windswept and not knowing what to say. So Candy Montgomery running around trying to evade arrest is pretty good.
Yeah.
What are you loving?
I was loving, the neighborhood dads.
Mm. Damn it,
I
the neighborhood
really
dads was a
loved the
good one.
neighborhood dads, really tied it up in a nice bow for me in this episode.
Yeah.
Um,
What are you
again,
hating?
alright, what I'm hating is how freaking Pat
Mm.
is just a dumbass and just keeps standing there with nothing to say and nothing to offer anything. How is this guy
Dude has
just such a
like an IQ of
wallflower?
like 170.
I
He's
don't
got to be putting this
understand.
together. He's got to be putting this
But
together.
I don't think that he is. at least up to this point, because I haven't watched ahead, but I don't think that he is, but it just annoys the shit out of me that he's not taking a stand. He never stands up for himself. He lets her call all of the shots. I just don't like that.
Pat, slide into Stephanie's DMs.
Yeah, slide into my DMs. I'll show you how to fucking do this shit, okay?
Okay. All right.
And if you know Merritt Weaver, get her too.
What
Just
am
in
I
case.
not loving? I mean, there's not much that I'm not loving. I think it's really a good show. I
I
guess if
know.
I were to say anything, the scene with the baby really bothered me.
Me too.
You know
Me
what I
too.
mean? Like, I
Mhm.
don't like how Candy left that kid.
I
Like,
know.
what
And
are you doing?
also how even like you'll notice even like in her interactions with Alan when he calls, she never once asks anybody how that baby is. No one says, "Is the baby
No,
okay? What happened to Bethany?"
no.
No one asked. And I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
You know what we need to do? Hashtag justice for Bethany.
Do you want
Because,
to?
I mean, that kid was
Do
covered
you
in her own feces.
Her own feces. I know. And she was
Mm.
just wailing, crying, and it was
I
probably
know. It
hot.
it bothers
Broke my
me
heart.
so much when I see kids in distress.
I know.
Ugh, bothers me.
Same.
All right, guys. That's been your coverage of Love and Death, Season 1, Episode 4. Again, I need to remind everyone we are not making fun of the actual murder of
Oh,
Betty Gore, which was horrific.
and you guys, if you're listening or watching this, you know us better than that.
We're not
Don't come
making
at
fun of
me
the
for this
murder,
shit. Mm-mm.
but we
Don't
just
come at us.
find the reenactment somewhat hilarious. I mean,
It's somewhat
Candy
comical.
Candy Montgomery is
Or
the
Betty
character
Montgomery.
of my dreams. I mean,
I
the
mean,
fact that I'm able to channel her every
you know
week
what?
with you is it's
As
a gift.
It is a true gift, and it's a true gift even to me because
Mhm,
in
mhm.
all of the years we've been friends, I have never seen you really nail it like you are with this one. So, and I'm here for it, you guys. I am. I have to give it to her. Have
Yeah,
to give it to you.
yeah.
Cheers. We're making shit happen.
Guys, if you have not already, please get into our Facebook group. Just
Oh,
go to
good
the little
stuff.
go to the Little Miss Recap page on Facebook, and
Mhm,
there's a link there to send you into the group. Or look it up, like
mhm.
Little Miss Recap. It's
I don't know. Just find it.
facebook.com/groups HTTPS server 132.5. I don't know where it
www,
is.
BT dubs, whatever.
You'll
You'll
find it.
find it.
You'll find it. PPP. I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever.
Um. So we have fun in there. There's
You know,
only
little
about
PP.
30 of us in there so far, so we're building. So join us
But you know what
and
else you can do?
mm, leave a
Leave
review.
a review.
Five
Just saying.
stars, please.
5 stars. Only
Yeah.
5 stars. Keep your 4 stars,
No, we'll
your
take a
3 stars.
4-star if there's valid criticism.
Valid criticism.
Hmm,
But that
hmm.
3-star last week, I've got a real problem with still,
Yeah, but
so.
she changed it.
Oh, she did? Oh,
Yeah, that's
thanks. That
Megan
was
with an H.
nice.
Love you, girl.
Hi, Megan. Hi.
Mhm, mhm.
Thanks
So,
for that.
no, you know what? I am open to criticism. Just PM me, DM me,
Mhm. Or
DM me,
PM her.
or PM me,
If you
whatever.
can figure out how to PM Amy, you should totally do that.
If you can crime sex me, bring it on. Mhm, mhm.
Bringing on a good crime sex.
What was that? Sling blade in there?
Sling blade. Sling I almost said slingshot.
All right, we're done.
We're done.
Follow us on Instagram at Little Miss Recap, and thank you, and thanks, Steph, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.